Hello, Facebook friends. Welcome to another Facebook Friday, Facebook Live. I'm Todd King with the Accident Recovery Team. I'm going to again address some questions that I get frequently. I'm going to try to kind of lump them into one thing today, one category today. One of the questions I get is, why do I do what I do? One of the questions, or we do here, why do we do what we do? Another question I get is, how did we get started here doing this? And we talk about insider information, and that's in reference to the fact that the attorneys here have worked for the insurance companies defending claims in our past. What I've been doing now, I've been doing for 20 years. And one of the guys here has been doing it even longer than I have, and collectively I've lost count of how many years we have collectively from insider information, from having been defense attorneys litigating civil matters on behalf of large employers and insurance carriers. So how did I get where I am? How did we get where we are? Out of law school, I had two primary interests: oil and gas and litigation. And my first placement out of law school, I ended up in a large firm. And in that large firm setting, I was doing litigation in oil and gas matters. And I found a real passion for litigation. I enjoy litigation. I like being in the courtroom. I like thinking on my feet. I like addressing those issues right then and there. So I enjoyed the litigation part of it so much, I actually started litigating other issues, not just oil and gas. And over the course of time, I ended up kind of focusing primarily on industrial accidents and workers' compensation issues. I then moved, I had an opportunity presented to me to move from the defense side of things to the plaintiff side of things. And the reason I made that change is that's one of the questions I get, and that's one of the answers I'm going to give you today. Here's my perspective on representing insurance companies and large employers. I represented some of the largest employers in the state of Kansas, and I represented some giant insurance companies in the industry. And what I found I did not particularly like, which was their goal is the bottom dollar on a claim. When a claim is asserted, the adjuster has to allocate reserves. They're going to put so much money allocated towards that claim, and they're going to do everything they can to not exceed that reserve. There have been many times where I would issue my report to an insurance company and say, this claim is worth X number of dollars, whatever it is. And I would be told, we're not going to pay that much. And I'm talking about claims, certainly there are some claims that should be litigated. And not because anybody's being a bad guy, but because there might be a fact that is in dispute and the judge needs to make that decision. Or there might be a legal question that the court has to determine the legal answer to, interpretation of a statute or the application of a law. And so there are many cases that need to be in front of a judge, and they deserve to be in front of a judge. But frankly, there's some cases that don't deserve to enter the courtroom at all, and there's many cases where the injured worker should win. It shouldn't even be a question. It shouldn't even be fought. They shouldn't be resisting. And there were many times that I would say, this is an entirely valid claim with merit, and you should pay it. And I would be instructed, no, we're going to fight it. And what I kept running into was this wall of the insurance company where they would say, we would rather pay twice the value of this claim, fighting it, than to earn a reputation of rolling over and paying out and settling these claims too easily, because then we would invite a lot of other claims. And that's what I was experiencing with large insurance companies and some self-insured large employers. And of course, I'm talking about companies and insurance companies that do business in Kansas. I'm not going to mention any names, but it's a real situation that happens daily within the industry. And I got tired of being on that side of it. I would present the insurance company with a settlement proposal that had come in from the other side. This is back when I was on the defense side. And I would say, this is a very reasonable claim. And if you litigate it, you're going to be exposed to 2 or 3 times that value. This is a good settlement, you should do it. And my instruction sometimes would be, no, we would rather end up the judge ordering us to pay 2 or 3 times more than to pay this out at this level. And so we would litigate the case, and ultimately they would lose and they would get dinged for this bigger amount. forcing the injured worker to have to go through that process, the months of delay, the cost of litigation, to ultimately get what was deserved. And again, it's just that big industry mindset that they're not going to give it away. You got to earn it. You got to fight for it. When I was presented the opportunity to become a plaintiff attorney and switch sides, I had the inside knowledge of what makes the insurance company tick, what you can do that helps them want to settle it versus that entrenched mindset to fight everything. And I was able to take that and move over to the plaintiff side in 2000, 2001. And of course, we've been here as the accident recovery team ever since. And so that is kind of my background on how I got to where I am, how the firm got to where we are, our mindset in dealing with that entrenched bias against somebody asserting a claim. And that's the joy we have in it, is I actually feel like now that we're helping people. I feel like now we're on the right side of the argument. I also enjoy the fact that our firm has a good reputation within the court system. Our firm has a good reputation with our adversaries, in that if somebody walks in and it's a bad claim, I don't have to pursue it. I'm not compelled to take a claim that lacks merit. I don't need to do that. We've helped thousands of Kansans, and we've recovered millions of dollars over the years. And there's no reason I have to take a claim that lacks merit and walk into a courtroom with it. When I was on the other side of it, I would be handed a defense, or I would assert a defense in the courtroom that in my mind, I questioned whether it had merit or not. But I couldn't turn down that one claim from that big insurance company for fear that, well, they might not refer our firm any more business. Back when I was with a different firm doing defense work, of course. When you work for a large firm doing defense work, you don't get to pick which claims you're going to fight and which ones have merit and which ones don't. You defend them all for fear of losing that client that's sending you that business. So on our side of it, somebody comes in, we feel like their case deserves a fight, we're going to fight for them. Another benefit that we have on this side of it is we're the boss here, my partners and I, and we have the benefit that we feel like we're part of the community, and we have the opportunity with what we do to give back. In a large firm environment, you really don't have that on the defense side, but on our side of it, we have the opportunity to return some of our goodwill back to the community. We do that through Interfaith Ministries. We do that through some of the charities, through the Shriners and other organizations where we can give back, and that's the freedom that we have that we enjoy. So that's kind of how we got where we are and why we like to do what we like to do, and that's that background that we bring to our clients. Is we know how the insurance company's defense attorney is looking at the file. We know how the insurance company is looking at the file, and when they're asserting defenses, we don't just look at it like we have to fight the defense that's being asserted. We also have to address the motivation behind why they're asserting the defense that they are. And if we can strategically address their motivations on why they're fighting us, and not just that they're fighting us, we can sometimes achieve a settlement that otherwise couldn't be obtained. And so we have that procedural knowledge, but we also kind of have that mindset in the back of our minds working against the insurance company too. Not just that one fight over whatever it is you're in courtroom arguing about that day, but that mentality. And so we try to fight against that as well. So there you go, a little bit of insider information, I guess, or some insight into former insurance company trial attorneys that are now working for the hardworking people of Kansas. So whether you're working in Kansas or driving through Kansas and you get hurt, let us help you. You can give us a call at 267-TEAM. You can catch us at 267team.com. Comment below from Facebook Live, and we can respond to that as well. Have a good day.